I grew up like I was born in 75. I'm 50 years old. So I was playing like the Nintendo Final Fantasy games, and me and my friends would have to call each other on
Mhm.
the landline phone to talk about where we were. And it just brought back the exploration, and even in that little area, you could go, there's like tangents, there's caves that you can go in and find stuff. It brought back that immediate like endorphin serotonin rush. And
Yeah.
it just basically brought back my childhood. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I could explore." Like, but
Yeah, they've spent so
now,
much time trying to reinvent the wheel with these games that
yeah, and you just had to do
who
this.
knew they had it right the first time?
Right.
Yeah, and then you
The
just
wheel
iterate on
just
that, yeah.
works? What?
No, I
No.
thought we
Get
needed to be
out.
Shocker,
square.
lightning crackle,
Yeah.
lightning crackle, lightning crackle, revelation.
Now,
But
Kendrick in chat says that they hope that there's a demo as they currently unsure how they feel about dodge and parry in a turn-based game. That's like, I do think that that might be a possibility down the road, but the demo truly is like locked behind Game Pass because
yeah.
you go and sub to Game Pass for a month, you
Yeah.
kind of have a demo. So like Game Pass does offer that in terms of it. We talked about renting. And you go from there. Oh, one thing like we're gonna see here, if you guys, anybody who's watching the video version of the podcast, this is something that really was exciting and surprising. I went into this one area. It says danger, and I'm like, oh, does that mean that the area's got roaming monsters and stuff like that? Like if I clear an area, it's gonna say safe or something like that. So I step in here, and there's a great big old super boss, and it's something that like if I was skilled enough, I think I could actually fight the boss. But being that I was underleveled and more, just got absolutely decimated. And there's a part of me that appreciates that discoverability early in the game, that it isn't necessarily going to just hold my hand. And this obviously isn't where I like the story isn't locked behind me all of a sudden getting good and being able to beat it. But it was just something where I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm
Level
excited.
scaling and its consequences need to be studied.
Now, GT in chat says, I don't think Final Fantasy has had a good story since Final Fantasy X. And then Adam, you kind of alluded to this a bit in the pre-show. And I was like, no, save it for the show. This was Mistwalker, kind of the Final Fantasy for Xbox 360. Truly an incredible game. I'm glad that people can still play it. And if they've never played Lost Odyssey, that's another one to check out. But you also mentioned Final Fantasy X. I'm going to let you kind of share some thoughts that you're having there.
So like it reminded me of Final Fantasy X because just like Lost Odyssey, you can go off and do different things that nowadays it's like you're locked. It almost feels like you're locked in a tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Point A to point B, and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas
I was worried about that when I first stepped in here because I was like, the first part, obviously, it's driving an arrow to forward, go to here, go to this next point, go to this next point. And I was like, gosh, like I feel that. And then all of a sudden, you're out in the open world and you're going and exploring.
Like with 16, you have like the illusion of the open world where it still has the design logic used in Final Fantasy 14, honestly, for a lot of the maps and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whether you like that or hate it. But if you go and you do quests, like it doesn't feel like there's a point in doing them. They're just there to like an MMO quest. They're just there to be there.
They're just there.
They're just there to because not to get into a Final Fantasy 14 rant, but like the campaign for Dawn Trail, it had so much filler that you could have taken 20, 30 quests out of that game, and still been fine. But and a lot of RPGs do this as well. It's like, well, here's content for the sake of content, but it's not good content. It's not filling content. You don't care. Yeah. You do it arbitrarily, mindlessly.
Just trying to fill time.
And this game doesn't feel like